Is this your show?
Nope. Thank you. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now listening to the beginning of a new way of living. Younger life. This is here too. These are extra.
Did you say it's a great day to be alive there, Mary Anthony?
It absolutely is.
Woo! Ow! Younger Life Live, Monday through Friday, right here on Girard Media's WIMS AM 1420. And of course, we do it on youngerlife.org/live. If you want to see it, are you ready to rock and roll, kiddo?
I'm ready.
I am so excited about today's show. Let's chat a little bit about Younger Life Live, Monday through Friday, 9 to 10, not only on the dial, on the live stream, in your face, all kinds of cool stuff. But today we have a great guest.
We do. We're going to talk to Dr. Salazar and find out really anything that we need to know. She's there for our questions, for your questions. Please call in if you have anything you want to ask her. She's a pediatrician and great person.
219-861-1632 is the live studio call-in line. Across America, we going around the world. 219-861-1632 here on WIMS locally, of course, and on the stream as well. Let's chat a little bit. I wanted to throw this out there before we jump in with the doc. This is absolutely incredible. Let's chat about just a brief moment. Yesterday's show was epic. I want to let everybody know, if you're listening to us right now, we will rebroadcast that show coming up Saturday, tomorrow on WIMS 7 to 8, right before our Burning Issues program. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Perfect.
Yeah. And you could actually see all the fun stuff that's going on up online. So no matter if you miss a show, we've got you on the podcast. We've got you on the live feed. Let's chat a little bit about some of the stuff. You have 5 children. Right. The doc's input today is going to be great. Let's talk a little bit about the doc for a moment. Then we'll pull the doc in.
Great. I mean, I know I've been making a list of questions here for just very general and other concerns that I know of that, other friends and family might have about their own kids, that we've just regular talked about. So I don't want to bombard her when she gets on the show.
We're going to pull her in from our Younger Life studios in another part of the world. Yeah. And I know our very own Ryan Beth's going to be doing this now. Ryan, we've got the pick up here, of course. Let's bring her in real quickly. And let's see if we could see that she's in our Younger Life studios. Oh my gosh, this is absolutely incredible.
It's perfect.
Let's pull this bad boy up here, see if we can connect. Doc, do you hear us this morning?
Yes, I can hear.
Wow,
Good morning.
You are awesome. Big round of applause for Doc. Woo! How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Absolutely great. Well, let's chat a little bit. Mary Anthony, Rick Federici, Dr. Salazar. Doctor, would you please let us know a little bit about yourself? Tell our audience visually and, of course, as they hear it, a little bit about you and what you do right now currently.
Okay, can you hear me well?
I can hear you perfectly. You sound crystal clear.
Okay, perfect. So basically, I'm new in the area. I moved about 6 months ago. I'm part of pediatric working with Dr. Mustafa, Dr. Karam, and Dr. Singh. I'm from El Salvador. You can hear my accent.
It's beautiful.
So I speak Spanish is my main language, but I also speak English. So a little bit about myself. So I graduated from the University of El Salvador. That was my medical school. Then I did pediatrics in my country as well, El Salvador. And then I came here and I did another pediatric training in New Jersey. So I have 2 pediatric trainings. And this is now I'm working here in Laporte and I just loved it.
Is everybody treating you good over there, Doc? I want to make sure that they're all treating you good. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, everybody's treating me really good. I love the work environment. I love the patients. Well, I love to work with kids. So no matter what and no matter where I am, I always enjoy my job.
Very good.
So
Well,
good.
we have a number of questions and a lot of thoughts. You specialize in what section of adolescent care? Can you talk a little bit about that, expand on that, doctor, a little bit, and kind of educate folks on that?
Well, basically, I'm a general pediatrician, but I have a particular interest in teenagers. I like to study a lot about nutrition, about healthy eating habits. I know that a lot of times we face with obesity, or sometimes we go all the way to lack of eating, like anorexia, bulimia. So I like to learn about healthy eating habits, and I like to educate and talk to my patients. When I have a teenager, I like to spend a few times together, just ourselves, so we can talk comfortable, and be able to see if I can help somehow. I know that while you are adolescent, you have plenty of concerns, or sometimes you just don't want to talk to anybody. But I like to be able to let them express themselves and see how I can help them. But I'm advocate of a healthy life. So I like outdoor activities. I love sports. Actually, this winter has been awesome for some of those activities. And
Sure.
but I try to encourage patients to eat healthier, because obesity is a big problem, as can lead our patients to other issues like heart problems, high blood pressure, diabetes as well. And but also I met a few patients who have the other issue where they just don't want to eat, or they basically get into those weird diet that's supposed to be good for them, but they only make them malnourished and they become anorexic or bulimic, and that's another issue as well that can be very harmful for their health.
Doctor, we have people chiming in on the emails today. We have folks that have already given us some questions for you. So if you wouldn't mind, as we are chatting with the doctor today, please feel free if you've got any things that you'd like to throw out there. Maybe you've got some suggestions, or maybe you've got some concerns. Here's a mom that says, can you please ask the doctor, my children ages 13 and 15 eat terrible away from home. While at home, they actually eat lettuce and salads and chickens and things that I feel are good. And as I'm learning, it says, as I'm learning, how can I, as a parent doctor, get them to eat a little bit better?
Wonderful question.
It is a great question.
Very well said
Right.
from that mom.
Yeah.
Great.
Let's talk, Doc. What would you say?
Well, the first thing is that by example. A lot of times we ask our kids to eat healthy, but we ourselves don't eat healthy. So if you don't want your kids to eat something that is unhealthy, like pop or like so many cookies or something like that, just don't buy them. And this is better if it's like a family effort, like as together you try to eat healthy. I know that a lot of times we have to fight with picky eaters, and we ourselves sometimes are like that. But we have to encourage our kids to eat healthier. And I know that when we are teenager, we don't care if what's going to happen in the future, if this is good or not good for me. I just care if I like it or not. But if we by showing them that we also eat healthy, that's going to help them as well. Is basically like try to encourage them, but also we have to do it. We have to take the lead, because if I only tell them, okay, you cannot eat hamburger, but I'm gonna eat one myself, then that won't help. So basically, it's about buying the things that are good, and try to push them a little bit, but do it yourself as well, even though you don't like it, because that way, by seeing you, they can do it as well.
Absolutely.
Good point.
Excellent answer. Rick
Yeah.
Federici, Mary Anthony, Dr. Salazar here live on Younger Life Live. It's great. Go for it. You got some questions here, kiddo.
I have just a few. I mean, I've been writing them down all morning, actually, every time something new comes to me. But on a just generally speaking, we've had a much lighter winter than we sometimes do. Have you seen fewer patients as far as illnesses going around?
Well, right now I'm seeing a lot of RSV. So we are in the RSV seasons. They are coming, a lot of common colds, a few streps. But I'm seeing variety of patients, but most are like upper respiratory issues. And of course, it's because of the weather changes as well.
Anything that us parents should be doing to minimize the risk of that?
Sure. It's very important that everybody keep washing their hands, use hand sanitizer, be careful with whatever you put on your mouth, or even putting your hand on your mouth itself. You don't know if you shake hands with somebody who just sneezed or was coughing, and then you put that mouth in your I mean the hand on your mouth, then what happened basically you bring that bacteria or that virus to you. And in adults this can RSV can manifest just as a common cold, but in babies that are let's say 3 months to 2 years old, RSV can be very severe, can give them respiratory distress with severe difficulty breathing, and sometimes they are not able to feel themselves because it's hard for them to breathe through their nose, and when they are feeding they get tired, they are pulling for air. So it's very important that if we protect ourselves, we can protect our babies as well. And I also don't recommend to go to crowded, where there's a lot of people, crowded areas, when we have small babies, because it's where somebody can just sneeze, but those particles that we cannot see spread in the air, and we just get them. We get them on our clothes. We get them basically in everything that we are wearing, and then we bring it home. So I'm not saying don't go anywhere. I'm just saying we have to be very careful about washing our hands. And I would recommend that if you bring your baby who is less than 2 years old outside, you protect the baby.
Doctor, here on Younger Life Live, we have asked folks, as mentioned earlier on in the program, to send in questions. Tom from Crown Point, Indiana, chiming in. I'm a 56-year-old man. I've got several children. My 15-year-old son is at the stage where he's starting to date young ladies or would like to. How do I go about, how do I go about explaining the respect for not only his body, but more importantly, for the young lady that he is going to go out with? I'm kind of new at this, and my parents never talked to me about the almighty sex.
Right.
So, let's throw that out there to the doc. Doc, if you could jump on that. Thanks, Tom from Crown Point. We appreciate the listen. Awesome. We'll connect with the doc coming up here in a few seconds on Younger Life Live. But that is a great question.
It is.
Some of the things, Doc,
good.
does she got that? Go ahead. I think we're having a little bit, of
hiccup
somewhere here on the system, but that's okay because we're at Younger Life Live.
We scared
Studios.
her off with the sex word,
Hello.
So
Scares me.
can you hear me?
There you go.
Okay.
Yes, now
Okay.
we can
Okay, sorry.
perfectly. Thank you so much.
Okay. So if we speak with our teenagers and we make them see that we are their friends, not somebody who's gonna judge them, then they are gonna be able to open their hearts to us, and we're gonna be able to give them some advices. I know that as a teenager it's hard, and maybe they don't wanna talk about sex as he said with their parents, but if we bring the topic first and we basically talk to them as not as something that is normal and it's going to happen eventually, then they can start talking to us as well. But it's very important that first you start talking about the topic as anybody else, as a friend. Try to become act as if you are his age, and try to make him feel or make her feel that you understand them. Then you can start talking about the high risk that having sex at that young age can bring. Like it's not about judging them, but it's about education. Because if we don't educate them, if we just consider this topic as something that nobody can speak about, then it's when mistakes come. So it's very important that um, moms, dad try to start speaking about it, and then tell them, do you know about sexual transmitted diseases? Do you know about HIV, about syphilis, about gonorrhea, chlamydia? So, and try to explain then how harmful if they first the key is abstinence, but a lot of times that's hard among teenagers. But then you have to start talking about prevention. You have to speak with them about using condoms, about being careful with the
I
person
would disagree with
they are gonna meet, because they don't know. Even though somebody else can look very nice, we don't know what type of life had behind that. So, but it's very important explain them how harmful and the consequences of those decisions are on their bodies. Also, do you want to become a mom or a dad at 15 years old? And it's not only about sexual transmitted diseases that can be harmful for the body, about pregnancies, but it's also about like emotions. What happened? A lot of times we have a teenager that after having sex with her boyfriend, then she gets dumped. So do you want to feel miserable after that? So we have to, for our daughters, it's very important to teach them that they have to value their body, value themselves, and protect themselves. But for our boys also, we have to tell them that they don't want to get a disease, and they also have to respect the other people or the girl. And if we, because we're talking about this, I would like to touch a little bit about the HPV vaccine that is actually
Glad you're
very
bringing this up.
controversial.
Right, I have a few questions about that. I'm really
Sure,
glad you're bringing that up. Could you start with what age is recommended to begin the series? It's, if I'm right, it's a 3-part series, the vaccinations, right?
Yes, it's three shot series. The recommended age is 9 years old, and that is based on several studies, because they study the effectiveness, how effective the vaccine will be. And what happened is that we have different types of vaccines, and they basically are directed to the most common among the virus. There are different types of the same virus that can give some diseases, and we are focusing more in the type of HPV that can give the genital warts that can happen in females and males, but also in the strength of the virus that can give the cervical cancer in females. Because the main goal basically is prevent females to have cervical cancer, and
Right.
also prevent boys and girls from getting warts. So because cervical cancer can be is life threatening and can be very severe. Yes, you
Oh,
have a
absolutely.
question.
I do. I'm sorry. I think my biggest concern. My oldest daughters are 15 and then 12. I haven't. My husband and I have discussed it and not yet had them vaccinated. I'm on the fence. I feel as though we're pretty open at home, but I feel that they are too young to even, especially the 12-year-olds. I think it's seems. I don't understand the reason, and that could just be myself, why that is something that can't wait until they are, more of a junior in high school, which unfortunately is just next year for my 15-year-old. But the, especially the 12-year-old, I just find that so young. It isn't, shouldn't, I don't understand why it's pushed right now.
Okay, first I need to clarify. The HPV vaccine is not to give them a green light to have sex. This is very important, and a lot of times parents get concerned and they don't want to start the immunization just because they believe if I start the immunization, it's like giving them green light to go and do whatever they want. No, it's not about that. Actually, this is about building immunity in your system. That's why those ages are the ages that are recommended, and it's in order to protect more is in order to protect more population from getting these viruses or getting exposed to the viruses. So the recommended ages are from 9 to 26 years old. But what happens? Your body needs time to build the immunity. That's why we recommended to start at 9. But we have to be very clear that this is not to tell them go and have sex. And unfortunately, is what a lot of parents are concerned, and that's why they don't want to start the immunization. But the body needs time to start building the immunity. So it's not that I give the shot today and I'm immune tomorrow. No, that's why also we need three immunization. It's a three immunization series. So three shots. Okay. Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and doctor, I want to throw this out there because as we're here on Younger Life Live, we're getting folks that are, chiming in via, email, and they're texting us and a lot of stuff. And you can do that. You can call in 219-861-1632. One of the things as a father of two young women now, and obviously you have 5 children, Mary, that are ages 4 to 15. And you've got how many boys and how many girls?
3, the first 3 girls, the last 2 boys.
My 2 girls are now young women, 18 and 22-ish. And when I was, going through the stages of life with them, Doc, and I think I'm jumping on some of the things that you had mentioned here, Dr. Salazar, here on Younger Life Live on WIMS, and of course, YoungerLife.org/live to see this and chime in and kind of focus. We were always open, and I think one of the things that we have passed along to our friends, and even when I was a young boy, we were very open and straight out. Listen, your body's a temple kind of attitude. We could tell you what's right. We could help you out. We could give you input as parents, and you are going to be the young adult. You are going to have to make decisions. You will make decisions in life that will affect you for all eternity. Forever. So just like the doctor said, and I'm telling you, because I've seen this in some of our daughter's acquaintances, I won't say friends, but just people in general, so I don't, pinpoint anybody, because I know a lot of people listen and view and all that good stuff. But you say to them, just like the doc said, what if you did take that step? And what if you did go and you did have sex? And then that guy breaks up with you, or all of a sudden everybody in school knows. It ties into all the crazy stuff that's going on today.
Especially now with social media stuff.
And social media and crazy stuff. But I wanted to throw that out there. Being open on drugs, on sex, on life, and what expectations are is key to it. And you could help along the way. And
I think so.
You know what I'm saying?
I grew up in a very open house, and I feel like we're very open. But as funny as this is to say, we've always been very open, but there are things that they will come up with that you literally you stop dead in your tracks. You don't want to be cornered. You want to just put it off and la la la. It's a terrible feeling, and I don't like that. And I always, if I do avoid something and skirt around it, I try to go back and address it.
And I think too, as a parent, and I'm sure the doc will back me up on this one, you have to listen and don't freak out. Sometimes you have to take 1 or 2 steps back and listen, breathe in, and then formulate your answer. And, all I'd say is, let's go to Dr. Salazar for this one.
Yeah, no kidding. I know.
But
How funny
that is great.
It is definitely. That's a good point. And, about the vaccinations again, how long has it been studied? I know it sounds silly to question the safety, but
no,
you still, you think, is it really necessary? and how safe is it? How many years has it been tested?
Actually, it has been studied for over 8 years now. So it has been a while now. And even like that, that more than 8 years have passed, there's still concerns about the parents. As any immunization, there's pros, there's cons as well.
Right.
But one of the pros and very important is that, for example, in 2014, there was an estimated of 12,000 new cases of invasive cervical cancer that will be diagnosed. And this vaccine actually can prevent cervical cancer. And as I mentioned, cervical cancer is something life threatening, and a lot of females die from that and can be very, very invasive. So it's I think that every woman before 26 years old should have get the three series shot, because we're talking about their life.
Right.
In the case of males, it's more about preventing them from having the warts, but also from transmitting the virus to their future wife or their future partner, to so they don't have cervical cancer.
Okay.
Do you see, Doc, that when it comes to drugs in general, a couple people chiming in, just wanting to discuss it on whatever level you would like to, talking to your children about just drugs and the effects of drugs. And then someone actually said, it seems that alcohol is big right now, even in the young ages, whether it's 9, 10, 11.
Oh.
Kids are sampling and kids are doing stuff at a younger age than I even remember as me being a young kid, even with my friends. I mean, we used to do crazy stuff, but it was like skateboarding or doing crazy things, but not as crazy as that. What would you say to that, Doc? How would we approach the alcohol and the drug issue to our young children, our
Right.
young boys, our young girls? How do we approach that? These are great questions that are coming from listeners.
Without sounding like you're just
A parent.
nagging or being the parent.
Parents.
Right, that's it. Where they're just gonna tune you out about it,
Right.
Unfortunately, most of the kids or teenagers who try alcohol or drugs outside is for one of two reasons. Either they are curious about something they have never heard, or curious about good things that they hear about something. Or because they have problems at home and they are trying to find a way to escape. So I think that in this way it's very important that from the beginning at home, the parents try to become the friend of their teenagers, because if they become their friends, it's gonna be easier for them to open up to them. Like, I'm gonna tell you, in my case, I think I was like 16 years old when my mom and my dad came and said, I don't want you to try alcohol outside of home. Do you want to try this a little bit? And they gave me just a tiny sip, and I said, wow, why do people like this? So I think it's very important that parents try to speak with their teenagers and become their friends. But other issues going on as well. I know that a lot of times our teenagers don't want to speak with their parents because they feel that they are going to judge them, or they feel that nobody understands them. And unfortunately, it's a period of life when you are a teenager. But in that case, then we have to encourage them to speak with somebody who is close, a close friend. But it's best if it's not somebody the same age who is gonna just lead them in the wrong direction. We always have, it's good if at school or also in my office as a pediatrician, I always talk to them about the side effects of drugs and how harmful this can be for their body. And unfortunately, once they start using a drug or using alcohol, and if they start feeling that effect that that made them feel great, but unfortunately it's only for a few minutes, then they think that keep consuming that is gonna make them feel better, but they don't realize that this is only harmful for them because they can become dependent to some drugs, and later on it's hard to get out of them, or they just hurt their body. They hurt their with alcohol. They are hurting their liver. With other drugs, they hurt not only their livers, but let's say cocaine. Cocaine can give them high blood pressure, heart problems. Teenagers consuming cocaine can have heart attacks. So it's something something really really concerning, and that's why somehow if it's not at home, at school, or in the office, we have to always make an effort to speak with them and try to be open with them so we can help them.
You're here with Younger Life Live. Mary Anthony, Rick Federici, Dr. Salazar just had a great one-liner. This doctor is awesome. What an eye-opening experience. They're watching it, obviously, and listening to it. Does Doc take any patients these days, and where is she out of? That's a great question, Doc. Could you kind of throw that out there and answer that question?
Sure. Yes, I'm taking new patients as I'm new in this area. I have a lot of openings. I work for Playtime Pediatrics, that is part of IU Health. Playtime Pediatrics is located in Founder Square, right behind the CVS on Lincoln Way.
Awesome. That is great. That is absolutely phenomenal.
Perfect.
Questions out there, text messages, emails. We're all about it. Younger Life Live, of course. And as we go through these different episodes each and every day in these great segments, Monday through Friday, 9 to 10 here live on WIMS. And then, of course, youngerlife.org/live to watch it. But then they're always kind of record kept, a little history of that. There's always a little vault full of this stuff. So that's great. Excellent information so far.
Absolutely.
For the parentals out there and the people that are chiming in. What other things do we have there, Mary, on the list?
On a more lighter note.
Sure.
What about winter skin? With it being cold, skin issues. A couple of my children have. They get little dry patches. It's not. We've had them looked at before. It's nothing severe enough to really need a prescription eczema cream or anything for. But are there any over-the-counter products that you love and that would say, that maybe those parents like myself could try?
Sure. Actually, dry skin is very common in during winter, and eczema also is very common as well. But you can start with creams like Aquaphor, Aveeno, Eucerin, Cetaphil, or any other moisturizing cream that has no scent, so no smell, because the ones with smell or scent, they can be can irritate your skin. But if you use the other ones, or also in small babies, you can use Vaseline. But something very important is that it's not only one application per day. This has to be several times per day. It depends on how dry the skin is. I always recommend to use it like at least every 4 hours. Okay. Or in the case of your hands, you can use it like right after you wash your hands. Because what happens as well is that you can get dry skin, not only from the changes in the weather, but from frequent washing your hands.
Right. Okay, very good. That's good. Let me see. And I know you're big in nutrition, which I love. Aside from that, are there any vitamins that may boost the immune systems of our kids more so in the winter that we would want to shoot for?
Actually, that is something very important, and I'm glad you asked about that, because winter is a season where you barely see the sunshine. And unfortunately, what happens is that we need the sunlight to be able to produce vitamin D. And vitamin D is highly associated with problems like depression, anxiety, fatigue. So if we lack of vitamin D, then we start feeling down. We are feeling tired, and also the blues that we feel during this period are highly associated with lack of vitamin D. But vitamin D is not only important for that; it's also important to help the calcium to go to our bones. So we don't get strong bones if we don't have enough vitamin D as well. So as for females is even more important because osteoporosis or like getting fractures easily is also associated for lack of vitamin D and calcium. So I would advise everybody to really consider about getting their vitamins checked, vitamin D checked, or start taking vitamin D3. And I've noticed that a lot of my patients here have low vitamin D3.
Dr. Salazar, we have a question. Tanya is with her husband right now. They've got the day off. Kids are in school. We are watching you and listening to you in New Buffalo. Listening to WIMS is actually great. Here is the fight that they're up against. She says, we are arguing on when to give our 12 and our 17-year-old a flu shot. Can you have the doctor explain about a flu shot, and also at what age would you, doctor, recommend that they give their children, if any, a flu shot? This is a great question.
Okay. So we never start giving. Well, let's. You have teenagers now, basically. So they could definitely get the flu shot. It's something good during the flu season. It is not effective, or I shouldn't recommend it out of the flu season. What happened is that as well that anybody who gets the flu shot, because they are getting basically part of the microorganism, they can have some light symptoms, like flu-like symptoms. Some people can have like a worse symptoms than other people. So, for example, I got the flu shot during this season that is going on right now, and I didn't get any symptoms. There was people who got the flu shot, and they were having a really bad cold. So, and everybody can react different. So it's hard to tell 100% how someone is gonna react. But what I can tell you for sure is that if you get the flu shot, you are preventing from the complications of the flu itself. That could be pneumonia. That could be like a most severe cases of flu, where the patients can have severe body aches. They can have other symptoms besides upper respiratory. They could have like vomiting, diarrhea, or other symptoms. So it will be way mild disease if you get the flu shot.
What age level, if you don't mind my asking, or not age actually, but what months should we be considering getting the flu shot too?
We usually start around September. Yeah. Around September is when we start the immunizations for the flu season. Depends. Yeah, in the case of here Indiana, basically it's when the winter is about to start. There's other areas where the month may vary because it depends on the weather, or like basically on the seasons. But here it's gonna be around September, right before winter. Okay.
How close, like I'm saying, how close to spring should we say, okay, it's too close to spring, don't get one now. So you might start in September and you go through till now?
Yes,
February?
till now.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good. Have you seen a lot fewer cases of flu this year? I just know my own personal experiences with my children in the school. It doesn't seem as though there has been the flu, carry through everywhere.
Sure.
School,
I'm
you know
with
what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like it's not been as bad, possibly because we've had the lighter winter, possibly because more people were treated with shots. I'm not sure.
Yeah, actually, this year I haven't seen as many as last year. Last year I saw way more cases of flu.
Okay. Very good.
Doctor, when it comes to sports and sports physicals and different things like that, someone chiming in, my daughter was edging up on that high school years coming up next year. She's thinking about doing cheerleading and other sports. When do you recommend and them getting the physical? Is that more closer to, obviously we're still inside this school year, but is that, coming up on the early part of next year when it comes to the physicals and stuff?
Yeah, it can be. I would recommend it to get it done at least 1 month before she start practicing that sport.
Okay.
That's absolutely great. Younger Life Live here with Mary Anthony, Rick Federici, Dr. Salazar, Ryan Beth, our executive producer. Of course, we do this each and every day. These are great questions, roundabout questions too, on getting folks a little healthier, staying younger longer, and all the things that kind of affect us because, we as parents, a lot of us out there that have gone through it and maybe are inside of it, sometimes it's a little tough because it's a little challenging for the parents. Doctor, what would you say to the parents out there that are kind of stressing on some of these different issues that we've chatted about today, whether it's sex, whether it's drugs, whether it's just the interaction with your teenager, because that's got to be something that comes up in conversation. And correct me if I'm wrong, do you sometimes act as a sounding board for some of these parents out there? Doctor, I don't know what to do. My son is just crazy. His temper, young boys. I mean, can you talk about that a little bit, the parental side too?
Yeah, it's very hard to it's very hard because it's like the parents have their own feelings and they feel like, why is my teenager behaving like this, or why I feel like I cannot help them, and the parents become hopeless and they feel frustrated, and that's also very hard for them. But also the teenager is in the other side, and they believe that the parents are just judging them or the parents don't understand them. So in that case, it's very important that if at the beginning it's hard to communicate between them, there's also family counseling where they can help them to, as a family, bring together all the concerns and decide together and try to help each other. Because sometimes parents can get into depression, parents can feel anxiety that it can get out of control because they are not sure what they are not doing right, or if there's something they are doing wrong. And in that case, I think it will be nice that as a family they can get counseling together to be able to. It's like when you are like you are in a marriage also. Sometimes you need like a couple counseling. That might work as well as a family. But I will advise that for people who feel that this is getting out of control.
Okay.
Is great.
All good
Do you
points.
notice how we both looked at each other? Your husband,
you-
Jimmy, my wife, Norma. Doc, of course, you chat about the couples because sometimes it's hard just as a parental unit, grandparents, because
agree.
to agree to learn and figure out how am I going to approach
That's it.
this subject, and then who's right, who's wrong,
Right.
who's the bad guy, who's the good guy, seriously on this one. And I think sometimes it's very tough. I would say to the parents out there and the grandparents, and I'm no expert on this, but I've been through it myself. And I know in my personal case, you have to learn as a couple how to like bond together. And sometimes it's as well talking about it beforehand, even if it comes up in the car, you almost have to I always feel take a breath and let them talk and ask the questions and then answer accordingly.
Yeah.
And be as, you know what I'm saying?
I love the car conversations.
Oh,
I feel
so
like
do
that's
I.
a great spot to really, have a conversation because you don't want to say they're trapped, but we're all right there. You can't go anywhere. So if you're able to, I think that's a great spot.
It's the captive audience. It's turn down the tunes. Put that
That's
phone
it.
down, young ones.
That's it. Yeah.
Someone had chimed in and said it's impossible, and I'm going to let the doc answer this doc style. Basically, the question was, it's impossible to get my children at dinner time to put down their phones at the dinner table. I know what I would say to this. I know what you would
I
say
have
to
a
this.
very strict rule.
And Doc, I can't get them to put it down. Hello, you're the parent. Doc, what do you say to that? It's a crazy one to me.
It's a valid point.
Yes, but
still.
what would you say, Doctor, to that?
I think that in this technology era, or what's going on is really hard, because you can see the whole family sitting in the table, and each one is on their own phones, like talking with somebody else, but there's no communication with the family. And unfortunately, this is one of the main problems that we are facing, and that we have to try to fix if we want to become our teenagers' best friends. I think that it's very important that parents set rules, and you have to set rules at home, but rules that are not that rigid. But I think just putting your phone aside while you are having a meal, that shouldn't be I mean, that should be something that everybody should be doing. And that way we can increase the communication, at least talk a little bit about the day. How was your day at school?
Sure.
Or do you have any problem at school today? Everything is okay with the teacher or with your best friend. So I think it's very, very important, like that at least the meals that we share together, at least that could be a quality of time for the family to become a little bit close. And in that sense, it's very important that you put like an advertisement when you get into the living room or the
Oh
kitchen.
yeah.
No phone allowed while you're eating. So something like that. I mean, you don't have you can make it fun as well. You
Right.
can
I feel
play
like
around those
that's
rules as
perfect.
well.
We're very funny about that. Even if our own phones go off or the home phone, is ringing, I'll tell whoever it is, you know what, I'll call you back. We're having dinner. It's no big deal.
Yep.
If one of my daughter's phones, is ringing, say, answer it. Tell them we'll call you back. Otherwise, they're going to keep
Or
calling.
leave it alone.
Or just
Put
turn
it
it on
down.
vibrate. It's not a big deal. We just leave it alone. We do make it fun and easy. So that's never really been an issue because it's just not allowed, period.
Yeah.
We don't do it. And we do to open communication, even when we have grumps, even when I'm the grump, we all are, every now and then when we're all actually there. My kids love it to do what we call highs and lows. Go around the table, each person say what was the best thing of your day and the worst thing of your day. And you would not believe when we have when the kids have friends over, they love it. They think that's fun. They want to do it.
It's a game.
It is a game. And, it's funny. You end up having to draw a line and telling the littlest ones, okay, that's enough. You've said enough highs and lows. It's cute. And
Here's
it's fun.
something I just handed to me from Ryan Beth. Thank you, executive producer, man. Sarah says, we have the dinner basket. When we approach the dinner table for 15 minutes, everybody, including my husband and I, we put our phones in the basket and our kids. It gets pushed aside. No one answers it. We have a dinner together, and that's that.
That's
so
great.
Even if there's
That's a great idea.
even if there's not a lot of talking, because there's a lot of families that are different. There's a lot
Absolutely.
of single parent families, and it's
Or
all
rushed.
About that.
We're
Right.
we're all about that. Rushed off to this sport or that sport, or just get home and we're exhausted and cranky. One person or all of us. It doesn't always have to be, the 50s style, sit down, everybody,
Well,
tell
think
every
about
minute of
it.
your day, but get real.
In today's world, you and I know this, Mary, and Doctor, of course, too. And when your listeners are out there and people are driving through fast food places.
Yes.
They're going from sports to dancing to
all over.
Husband's doing this, the wife's doing this.
Absolutely.
Let's all get together, and everybody's coming home and it's 8:00 at night. It's
That's
like,
it.
I love you. Go take a bath, go brush your teeth.
It's time for bed.
Let's go iron the clothes.
Yeah, I know. It's very true. But it's still, I think whatever works for your family, but I do think it's important. No outside communication during that time. Even if you have a grumpy one that doesn't want to say a word, fine, but they still don't get to say a word to someone else. They have to sit there and sit with you, be with you. I think that's perfect.
Doctor, do you want to throw out, please, your hours and how folks can get a hold of you directly, or your team of professionals? Dr. Salazar here on Younger Life Live, Rick Federici, Mary Anthony. Doctor, please let us know about that information.
Sure. I'm at the office at Playtime Pediatrics from Monday to Thursday. Mondays, my schedule is from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And Tuesday to Thursday is from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Hold on a second and I can give you the phone number for the office.
All right, cool.
Fantastic.
Doc's going to do
That's
that.
great.
In the meantime, We're going to have some great shows coming up next week. A recap, rewind with Younger Life Live. That'll be coming up, of course, tomorrow on our flagship station, WIMS, and on WIMSradio.com. That'll be Saturday morning Central Standard Time for those around the country from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. And then, of course, we are here live Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. What time are we on from, kiddo?
9 to 10
Yeah!
every morning. Yep.
We stream it. We rock it. Thank you to everybody so far with the great questions today.
It's
Absolutely
been a great
wonderful.
show. It's been a great week, and I'm all excited about next week too. So.
Okay,
All right,
I have
so-
the phone number and I have the address as well. The phone
Awesome,
number for the
doctor.
office is 219-324-3431.
Okay.
And they can always ask for Dr. Salazar. And the address is for Playtime Pediatric is at Founder Square. Is 1509 State Street, LaPorte, Indiana, 46350.
Big round of applause for
Thank
Dr.
you so
Salazar.
much, Doctor.
You're welcome.
Doctor, you are awesome.
Yep.
Can't wait to have you back. And thanks to your technical crew on the Younger Life Live Studio 2. Thank you, and have a wonderful weekend, and we'll chat with you again soon. Thanks, Doc.
Thank you.
All right. That was wonderful,
That was great. She's awesome.
Absolutely just on fire, full of
I
information.
love that she's very down to earth too on her methods and everything. I feel like, you know what, that's so true. You got to be real. No kid wants to be lectured. You got to be real, you know.
Recap time. The vision, the thought for the week here on Younger Life Live. Let's start out with the debut show. That was absolutely phenomenal
Yeah,
to get
it was great.
to get the skinny on what we're doing here on this great show.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, starting the new year, starting a few new things. That's good.
I'm all about that. Stay positive, get energized, whether you're a parental unit, whether you're out there. I have to tell you, all the shows to me were absolutely phenomenal this week in their own right.
been great.
Katie was absolutely stellar.
Yeah.
Chef yesterday,
Oh,
I went
she's
home
awesome.
and I told you I was going to tell you this, and we chat about sometimes the way we're trying to spin what we talk
Trying to
about on
try
the air.
it, yeah.
try
Trying
it.
to try them ourselves. Yeah.
So I went home and we did the mango avocado salsa. And my daughters both helped me out. I thought it was stellar. We added a little brown rice with it and a little grilled chicken for us.
Yum.
That's what
Yeah.
worked with us. I tried it. I thought it was great. I think you brought me a present today. Did I?
I did.
Let
You know,
me-
I
let me see
recall
this
on
present.
Monday
Uh-huh.
that Rick had said he
This
would
is
like
awesome.
to try yoga. Remember, Brendan was here doing the
He was
pose.
doing his pose. I was like, holy cow.
So I did bring
Hold that pose.
I did bring a couple of the yoga videos that
All
I
right, look
have.
at this. Look at, she's got him right there.
This is
Come on.
day and night, and then this is 5 different workouts. So Rick can give them a try and let us know next week. I'm really anxious.
I'm going to try them with my wife. You got to give me the skinny on this one. Are these boring or are
I
these
find
good?
them too slow for myself. I find I like the yoga poses, but you know what I like about the yoga? To do a shorter video still feels good, but
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't feel like it drags out. Now these are only 20 to 25 minutes. They're not long. I mean, they're
I'm
not.
so
it's nothing.
Katie, what do I wear? She's
Whatever
got
you
on
want.
this cute little leotard.
I had jammies on when
Okay.
I did that, and I like it. It is nice. It's a great. It's morning and night, that one
Okay.
is. And it's a great way to start out either your morning, nice deep breaths, feels so good to stretch, and at night the same way. You know,
Okay.
kind of wind down. I
I'm-
liked them both, but I'm anxious to see what you think.
I got the loose PJ pants. Now, has
That's
Jeremy
what I did
tried
too.
this with you, your
he
husband?
did not do that. No, he has not done that. He's done a different one that was part of a series
A
that
buff
we did.
workout for
yeah.
men.
He He
Go
would
for
though.
it,
He would try.
Federici.
It feels good. I go for it. I can't wait to hear what you think.
Listen, and we heard this from Brendan, who was in earlier this week,
Yeah.
part of Younger Life Live. You know, get the stigma out of there, dudes.
Oh, absolutely.
Try it. I'm going to
It's
try
crazy.
it.
You know, you're holding your own body weight, and your balance that is required engages every muscle. I mean, really, it's good. I can't wait to see what you think. So.
Are you trying the ice skating this weekend?
I'm hoping so. As
All
long
right.
as the weather cooperates, that's definitely the plan. So
I'm definitely going for a walk with the dog with my wife. I'm definitely going to be riding the bike.
I think I'm going to do the KonMari method
Okay.
on Brownie, the couch that I told you is buried in crap, and see how that goes this weekend.
I
So
will be organizing.
I'm really anxious.
I will be decluttering as well, just to
Perfect.
let you know, because as we continue to fill boxes to move, I'm trying some new stuff. You know.
Perfect. I love it. That's the point. New
It is
things. New
absolutely
things.
crazy.
Always
Did you
try
have fun
something
this
different.
week?
I had a great time. I've loved it.
I absolutely love working with you. You
I
are
love working with
breath
you.
of
This
fresh
has been
air.
great. Thanks.
Woo!
Can't wait.
On behalf of us all at Gerard Media, of course, and our Younger Life Live tech team and crew, we thank you all for joining us here this past week, the debut week.
Yep.
It was fun. So we
It
got
was
a lot of
so
new
much
stuff.
fun. I can't wait to try some of
I
these
know.
things. So
And I'm excited about the show each and every day.
me too.
If you guys want to throw out anything that you'd like, Rick, R-I-C, at WIMSradio.com, our executive producer of today's Inside broadcast. Thank you, Ryan Beth. Woo!
He's been great.
Thanks to our lighting crew, of course. Thanks to the tech team as well as a whole. And we will see you each and every weekday right here on Younger Life Live. And if you've missed the segment, maybe you're catching it for the first time on the radio, all you got to do is go to YoungerLife.org/live. You could go to that website, YoungerLife.org. Have a safe weekend. Make it a good one. I'm Rick Federici.
I'm Mary Anthony.
And by the way, God bless America and God bless our veterans. That's a wrap on
That's
Younger Life Live. Say bye.
See you later.
AM 1420, WIMS, Michigan City, a Girard Media Company station.